in the
produced within the borders of a country
in borders of country.
within a given time period. And it's normally a year. Okay, so that's the gross domestic product. Sometimes they also talk about gross national product and other variations of that. Okay, but normally gross domestic product.
Okay.
Now there are some problems associated with GDP as a measure of growth.
Okay.
You should know what they are. So the first thing then is non-market production. For example, they talk here about a farmer's consumption. I mean, if he produces stuff and he eats it up himself, although he produced it, it's not now measured. He didn't sell it.
Okay.
So it's not included in your gross national product. So if you've got a country with a lot of subsistence farmers, they might be producing lots of stuff and eating it all up and be perfectly happy.
Yes.
And but it's not measured in the GDP. So the GDP of that country might be low, but everybody is fed and everybody is happy.
Okay.
Okay. The other example of that is, for example, a housewife.
Okay.
She produces a lot of stuff. She looks after the kids, makes food, but nobody pays her in money.
Yes.
So that is not included in the GDP. The second one here is unrecorded activity. They say it's a serious problem. Now in South Africa, it's a very serious problem.
Okay.
In the sense that, I mean, if we just included all the dagga that we produced and sold in our GDP would double.
Okay.
Okay, so all those illegal activities, which aren't necessarily immoral, are not recorded in the GDP. And so, again, the country might have a low GDP officially, but in the meantime, people are selling dagga, taking that dagga, buying stuff outside of the formal system. So everybody's happy, but the GDP is low. So, okay. Data revisions. The guys that collect the information are notoriously bad at collecting the information. So after they produce the figures, a month later they adjust it, and 2 months later they adjust it again as new information. So that's your third problem associated with GDP. And then the last one is, as I've just indicated, GDP is not the ultimate way of measuring whether things are going well in a country or not. And there's something, for example, called the happiness index, which doesn't just concentrate on economic welfare, but also other aspects. So that you must just be able to mention those kind of problems. All right. Good. Let's have a look at this business cycle story.
Okay.
Okay, with the aid of a diagram, discuss the Keynesian view of expansionary fiscal policy in combating a recession. Include in your discussion. Okay, let's stop there. So there are two diagrams that you can use here.
Okay.
The one is this one.
Okay.
the other one is this one.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start off with this one. So you'll use this one to explain booms and busts. Booms, economic improvement, economic decline. Economic improvement, economic decline. Just have a look at what they measure on each side. Yeah, they put output on this side. You see, output is on. Yeah, they put output here, and this is over time.
Okay.
How the output goes up and down over time.
Okay.
Now it's important that you actually. This one is not a very good graph. Let's see if it's not better than that. You must be able to label these things nicely, and then. Let's see whether we can get a better business cycle 476. Okay, perhaps you can use these here. Just take this thing here, and just write there now. On the rising side, just write the word expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wherever it goes up, you can call that an expansion.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so it's this portion here.
Okay.
It's called an expansion. Okay,
Yeah.
those are the expansions. And then on top, they call it a peak. So right on the top there, that's the peak.
Peak. Okay.
Okay, that's the peak. So the period that includes the expansion up to the peak is called an economic boom.
Okay.
So the expansion up to the peak is called an economic boom. From the peak down there is called a recession.
Okay.
The economy is in a recession.
Okay.
And then that bottom just is a trough. So just label your graph a little bit when you draw it. Okay, that's about it. Now, there are two theories. The one they refer to here is the Keynesian view. Keynes said these ups and downs are normal in the economy. And the government's role is, if the economy is in a recession, the government must do something to get us out of recession. And you do that through fiscal and monetary policies. Perhaps we can just write it here.
Yes.
Okay, to get out of a recession,